Welcome to Wisdom Talk Radio, a collaborative community of explorers in conscious living. Welcome to today's episode of Wisdom Talk Radio. My guest today, Ken Honda, is joining us from Tokyo, Japan. And I particularly love Japan. It was a place that, as I was there, I thought I could live here. And while I never have, I did get to spend a fair bit of time years ago in the holy city of Koyasan. And it was a transformative time for me. Ken asks quite a provocative question. Is your money smiling? And if you want to know what he means by that, and meet one of the foremost experts on the relationship between wisdom, happiness, and money, stay tuned. And I'm particularly excited about welcoming Ken because growing up in my family, money was, I'll just say this, and it's bigger than this, it was a difficult thing. And the relationship with money came fraught with all sorts of situations. So I have a personal vested interest in what I suspect Ken will share with us today. And I'm Laurie Seymour, host of Wisdom Talk Radio and founder of the Baka Journey. Fast-track technology for your co-creative power. For visionaries, innovators, company founders, and product designers, optimize your ability to create more in less time and enjoy every minute of it. Money and happiness expert Ken Honda is a best-selling self-improvement author in Japan, with book sales surpassing 7 million copies since 2001. His latest book is called Happy Money, The Japanese Art of Making Peace with Your Money. Ken's financial expertise comes from owning and managing several businesses, including an accounting company, a management consulting firm, and a venture capital corporation. His writings bridge the topics in a beautiful way, that's my insert, of finance and self-help, focusing on creating and generating personal wealth and happiness through deeper self-honesty. Welcome, Ken. I am so thrilled to have you here.
Thank you, Laurie. I'm so excited to be here, and I feel so honored to be able to spend time with you. Thank you so much.
And thank you. So I just want to kind of dive in, and we have to start somewhere because I have a lot of things that I'd love to be able to address with you.
Yes.
What's the difference in your mind between happy money and unhappy money?
Yes. There are two kinds of money in the world. Money that makes you feel joy and also happy when you receive it, when you give it. And also at the same time, there's money that makes you feel guilty, feel frustrated when you receive it, and also when you spend it. You know, most of us, unfortunately, live in the circulation of unhappy money. So when we receive a check or money from somebody, we feel like, and also at the same time, when we have to pay taxes, bills, and something on the food even, we feel like, I don't want to let go of money because that makes us feel insecure. So all those negative emotions attached, that's unhappy money. And all the money you receive in joy, abundance, that's happy money. And my vision is to create more smiling, happy money in the world.
Mm-hmm. And therefore smiling, happy people in the world, because as we feel that sense of gratefulness, of gratitude, that changes everything, doesn't it?
Yes. And the key is to appreciate what you have. And it doesn't really matter how much you make or how much you have, because I've met many millionaires, billionaires, and some of them, I wouldn't say most of them, some of them are very unhappy. Mm-hmm. And also I've met people who just grow their own food, very little cash, but they are in bliss. So, as I have studied millionaires, and also I have studied happy people. Mm-hmm. That's why I have been teaching how to be happy and financially independent for the past 20 years.
What do you mean by financial independence?
Financial independence means both emotionally and also financially. So you have enough money in your bank or enough means to support you financially, and also at the same time, emotionally free. That means money comes freely and money goes freely. So
you don't try and hold on to it.
Because I have not much worries about money, because I know money will come to me when I lose everything. I don't have any debt, so it's not realistic. But if I if I lost everything, I have more than 50 friends to count on. So every week I'll stay with my friend number one, and then and after 50 weeks, I can come back to my friend number one.
That's right.
I can live for the rest of my life that way. So I'm not worried, because I have enough knowledge about money. I have enough network. So even though I have zero money in my bank account, I'm not worried. So that's the attitude I'm talking about.
Yeah. I hear in that something fundamentally important, and I don't know if you talk about this or not, and that is trust. It's like trust in the universe.
Yes. And my sense is more down to earth. Trust that somebody will help you. Because if you have enough friends, like even 5 friends, who will do anything for you, they will not let you fall. And if you don't have 5 friends who are that way, if you don't have friends like that, you are in trouble. Not in terms of money, but as life. Your life is not as rich as you think. Even just imagine 2 people, one person with millions of dollars in the bank, but no friends, and the other one, not much money in the bank, but a lot of friends.
Yes.
Which life could be more joy?
Yes. Which life, and then it brings you to the question of which life would you choose? And the people that would choose, I still want all that money. I don't see them being very happy. Yes,
and unfortunately, in almost all the industrialized world, we are so individualistic. We think like since we're small, we are supposed to take the examination by ourselves. We couldn't do it with teams. And I'm going to do it with Bob, or I'm going to do it with Stephanie. You cannot do that. You have to do on your own.
Yeah.
And then somehow we have this bad habit of doing everything on our own. And then we're so good at helping other people, but we're so bad at accepting support or just asking for help.
Yes.
So that's why we are so focusing on how much money I have in my account.
Well, that's interesting, that whole thing about asking, because I mentioned in the beginning about how difficult money was in my family growing up. And I know one of the patterns that I had early on was I couldn't ask anybody else for help. I had to do everything myself, and I assumed I could.
Yes.
But it was that same kind of connected mindset.
And Laurie, what's important is because everything we do carries some kind of emotions. Asking for help, that gives us embarrassment, also shame, and a lot of emotions bringing up. So when we know we need help, but we can ask for one because we feel ashamed, we feel embarrassed that we are in financial trouble, we're in health, and we have health issues. The fact that you got sick or the fact that you got laid off has nothing to do with you. But at the same time, we feel so embarrassed. We feel so much shame about not having money, not having a job, and then and therefore we're not worthy of asking for help. But that's exactly when you're supposed to ask for help. Right. So that's what I'm teaching. I'm teaching about happy money, but at the same time, I'm teaching about this attitude shift that you need to be connected with other people. That is my message.
Okay, so you're really teaching about community and collaboration and co-creation.
Yes, and I think that's where we need to step in for, in this 21st century. If all of us on this planet are me, that's why we have this global climate issue. Like last month, we had so much rain, 21 days consecutive. It's like a rainforest kind of rain. And
Yes.
I've watched CNN in California. There's lots of wildfire. I wish we could export all the rain to California. So a lot of stuff is happening because we've messed up our environment, thinking that we can do anything we want as a human species.
Yeah. And and being disconnected from that greater collective, if you will.
Yes. And then once we know we are connected with other people, and also we are connected both spiritually and financially, that's like scientific fact. Like our yens and euros and all the other currencies, dollars, are connected. And also our internet is connected. But we pretend as if we have nothing to do with it. So it's almost like a teenager saying, I didn't ask you to give me birth to his mother, right? So we're all connected. So once we know we're connected, we have to sort of live, or at least we have a choice of living that we are all on the same level, or we live in the same village.
It's interesting. This might sound very far out to you. It sounds kind of far out to me, but that idea of interrelationship and interconnection, I think, goes to the heart of, this is where it gets kind of a little woo-woo.
It's okay.
The fires in California and the rains in Japan. And, if somehow we recognized the truth of our own interconnectedness, I feel like some of that would start to shift. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, it does. But because we come from the culture that we feel without communicating with words. So once and I've created a lot of miracles, or at least I have witnessed a lot of miracles among my students, that once their mind shift, a lot of interesting things happen. And I think climate is easily changed if all of us pray for rain, all of us pray for something else. And I've seen that this is not scientific, but from my experiences, a lot of miracles can happen once enough people are connected.
Yes. And then I don't really think they're even miracles. I think they're part of how physics works, but we just haven't really opened to that recognition.
Right. Maybe after 50 years, people will figure it out. Yes. But I'm not interested in just proving something. I'm just sharing what works. And I've had 20 years of experience of dealing with happy money. And I realized that the key is appreciation. So when money comes in, you appreciate your money. Arigato your money. And when money goes out of your life, when you spend money, also appreciate it. So I call it arigato in, arigato out.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Yes. And once you're in this attitude, you start appreciating other things like your family members, your partner, and your parents, kids, neighbors, colleagues, clients, boss, all the people you are involved with. And then once you start appreciating, what's interesting is what appreciates.
Yes.
So you tend to attract big opportunities, more clients, because your energy is bigger. And then if you, when you like yourself, people like you more.
Yes, indeed. And I'm feeling that I'm feeling what you're saying, really, because when we shut down and we get tight about, either feeling guilty about what's coming in or not being willing or wanting to let go of something to pay a bill and not appreciating that ability that we can pay it, there's a tightness in the body, that really sets in. And when there's that kind of tightness, what you're really doing is disconnecting from the potential, the potentiality of the universe, or of the person standing behind you in the coffee shop talking to you and saying, oh, well, yeah, I'd really like to be your next client.
Mm-hmm.
You shut
Yes.
down from those kind of possibilities.
Yes, and even if you work in a corporate environment, one of my students is a secretary, and she didn't get paid well. That's why she kept complaining about her situation. But she realized then that she didn't have a college degree, but then she thought it this way. Oh, wow, I've kept complaining about this situation, but I should appreciate more because he hired me even though I had no college degree, and he just said thank you so many times, but I didn't listen. So she started this appreciation exercise in her way, just bringing coffee for him, just saying thank you, and obviously he realized that there's a shift, and then she got a big raise after a few weeks.
Oh, without even asking for it.
Yes, because obviously her attitude of appreciation must have triggered in him that he has to do the same thing, and this time financial reward. So what's interesting is that even if you work in a corporate environment, you could get a raise, and if you are on your own or freelance, your financial situation changes in matter of weeks by just saying arigato your money. And so I just ask yourself to give it a shot. Just arigato your money all the time. And it's fun. When you pay bills, say arigato or thank you or danke or whatever your language is. Just feel what it's like. And then once you start appreciating paying the bills, it could sound so crazy. But just imagine that because of the tax you're paying, all the roads are paved, the bridges are being rebuilt, paying for the school and all the other thing. I know there's a lot of ways, but that's how government works everywhere.
That's
so
right.
It's part of the deal.
Yes.
If you have to pay anyways, you can do that with appreciation.
And thank you, Ken. And for those of you who are not realizing what Ken is saying about arigato in and arigato out, is he's saying thank you in and thank you out. And so you talk a lot about money, about money and what we could call love or fear as a response to.
Yes.
How does that lead us to being able to create a more abundant, loving relationship with money?
Yeah, I said there's two kinds of money, happy money and unhappy money. And once again, it's you can look at it this way: love money or fear money. Love money brings you joy. Love money just gives people hope. So the dollar you're spending every day, is it creating fear or is it creating love? And the money you receive, do you receive it with love or fear?
Yeah.
That's another way of looking at it. And in communication, as Dr. George Jampolsky said, he's the author of Love is Letting Go of Fear. I think love and fear are like two sides of the coins. They coexist at the same time. And you have a choice. You can choose love or fear. But with your choice, there comes a consequence that if you keep choosing fear, you keep creating fear. And if you keep choosing love, you keep creating love in your field.
Yeah.
So your choice appreciates. So that's another way of looking at it. If you are making money with fear, you'll probably spend money with fear, and then start worrying about all the situation.
Yeah.
Or if you receive money with love, spend money with love, you probably trust more. So it's your choice.
I love that. Yes, it is our choice how we choose to be with it.
Yes.
And and some of that is patterned. But then we have to become conscious and realize what our patterns are so that we can start to shift those. Do you have some ways that you recommend to people about how they can shift their own patterns as they become aware of them to bring in that love rather than the fear?
Yeah. So each time you receive money, just see how you feel.
Mm.
Most of us are very numb. We don't feel anything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a interesting marketing company that videos everybody who are paying at the register, and then the more expensive the thing they buy,
Mm-hmm.
they come like no face. Because you don't go at the very expensive like boutique like Chanel or Louis Vuitton.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't go like, oh, I bought this Chanel, like they're, oh, here's my credit card, and then no emotions. So I'm sure they're happy inside, but kind of suppress the feeling because it's kind of embarrassing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to buy something expensive. So we suppress emotions, or we might feel like, oh, is this too much? You feel fear. So just each time you transact money, just check how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it a fun feeling or is it like ooh feeling? So it's up to you.
I just had this experience last week where we bought a new dishwasher. And really, I was really excited about it. We had been looking forward to it, and we got the model we wanted and all of that. And I mentioned it to my brother, and I happened to mention to him which brand it was. And now my brother has plenty of money. He's created for himself, and he's done very well. But his response to me was, ooh, that's a very expensive model. And it had judgment in it, and it had a feeling of you shouldn't have done that. And I had to take a breath and realize that that's his thing, and I didn't have to take that on.
Yes. Some wealthy people have interesting attitude, negative attitude for expensive things. Yeah, but it's because of their fear. Your brother may have fear about spending because of his childhood. Which you can share. So instead of saying, "Oh, my brother, I hate you," I can say, "Oh, my brother had the same pain. God bless, send him love, and if you could hug him next time because he were like your buddies, going through the war."
Right.
Yes. So we have a lot of money issues in our family too. I call it family wounds and money wounds. And I have a brother and a sister. I often talk about my childhood with them. It's one of my healing moments. And sometimes we fight, but most of the time we cry together. Because my father was abusive, and even though we had money, there wasn't much safety in our house. So, but anyway, so if you could change your attitude toward money, your life will shift dramatically.
Well, you've been demonstrating that, I think, in everything you've been teaching, but certainly in your own life as well. And I'm wondering if, from your perspective, you believe or sense that there is a spiritual aspect to money. Because I think of money as energy. Yes.
So I've witnessed for the past 20 years since I started teaching, and also I started observing people when I was like 10. So I have like 40 years of career doing this. So and I can say that something in you will grow bigger with money. So if you're a good person, you'll be a super good person with money. If you're a vicious, mean, cold person, you'll be colder, more mean, and more aloof people with money. So money is like a magnifier. It brings out the best in you. It brings out the worst in you.
Oh, that's a very interesting statement. And I'm thinking about that in relationship to, in this culture, what some people think of as, money being the root of all evil. They think that's what was said. And
could be.
It could be.
Could be the root. And could be the road to heaven.
Exactly. Actually, my teacher used to say that in the idea of money being energy, that the highest vibration in the metaphysical is love,
Mm-hmm.
And the highest vibration in the physical is money.
Mm.
And I can, as I feel into that, it's like taking out any of the judgment and just receiving it as energy
Yes.
and manifestation.
Yes, and money can heal people. The other day, I was given. Somebody was so excited to see me, so he brought
one of your 50 friends.
Yeah, he brought a big bag, and at the bottom of the some cookies. There was this envelope, and when I opened it, it was a cash, about $10,000 US. And I called him, and he said he was so excited to see me. So that was the token of appreciation of meeting me.
Oh,
okay, that's fun. And then 2 days later, I bump into a person mother who's having health issues in her life, and she said, I don't have money. What can I do? Okay, I have something very good for you. And I took out the envelope. It was in my bag and just gave it to her. And then she was like, is this money, right? Yeah, it's real. So it's not fake money. And she cried, and that was beautiful.
Yes.
And then for me, money comes in, money goes out that way. And I have no attachment. Yes. And then money can heal people, because with that $10,000, she can buy food for a while. And, medical bills are much, much lower here. So she can do a lot of things for the next 6 months.
And who knows, in that 6 months, has she received that? And as she received that as love, and it sounds like she did, then who knows how that's going to open things up for her.
Yeah. So money can heal people. I think money has the most powerful healing portion in it.
Wow. So how do you think then about, for example, what some of the billionaires are doing in the U.S. in terms of the idea of giving back and letting go of a lot of their fortunes?
I think it's a great thing, and I think they know unless they do it, they're going to be a bad influence on them, because money could be violent to some family members or some people who don't have the mental strength. So I think they know instinctively and from their experiences that they have to let go of certain money so they can still feel happiness. Because, when you go into a small coffin, you can stash all the money in the coffin. There's a little space. So,
right. Even if you build a mausoleum.
Yeah. So, and that's why probably, they built a pyramid or whatever for that.
Yes.
But, so when we were born into this world, we didn't have, dollars in our, in our hands. And also when we go, we cannot take anything from here. So I think smart people know. And if those billionaires had this intellect to create wealth, they also came up with this intellect that they should separate themselves from the money they created, because they could crash their life.
And they can do so much with it by letting it go.
Yes, so I really respect them. But I respect people who are struggling and bringing food on the table for the family too. I have the same type of respect.
Yes.
I don't think billionaires should get more credit, than the people or the parents who's struggling to get the food on the table. I have enough big respect for them, because their money is happy money that is a source of caring and for other people.
And to go back to my brother, that's in a way, even though he's got that one place of where he's going to be judgmental about, it's a name brand that is too expensive. What I see is how he shares his money.
Yes,
and it's beautiful.
Yes. So you can tease him, you have enough money. So, or just I wish I could give you a copy for him. I always give, copies of my books for some people who are in need. And then if he reads it, I don't need to have this funny attachment. Like one of the millionaires couldn't let go of soap. He has to, use it all.
Ah, yes.
And then when the soap became small, he attached the soap, small one, to the big one. And I told him, "Oh, sir, you can use 10 soaps at one time."
It's okay.
Yeah, so it's okay to use a new soap, but he still attached the small one to the big and the new one.
I grew up that way. I understand that.
Right. So, but if you have millions of dollars, you can probably relax a little more and just let go.
And you know what? I realized for myself, even if you don't have $1 million, you can probably relax a little more about it.
True.
And you've said that how we relate to money is how we relate to life.
Yes. Yes. When you are in the scarcity mentality, my friend and my mentor, Lynn Twist, said in her book, Soul of Money, so beautifully, we are living in a scarcity, scarcity. So that's why we are so afraid whatever we do. We're so afraid that if we are going to do the right thing, we are so afraid if what we have is enough, or we're so afraid that something bad is going to happen to you. So we choose to live in fear, and it's not a healthy attitude. But if you just keep your focus on trust and sharing and caring. You even though you live in the same neighborhood, you live in the same house, your view is totally different. So I encourage people to be brave enough to look at the world in a different way, just slightly. Can you trust a little more and a little more and a little more, and then sometimes you just leap, a leap of faith.
Yes,
and it's always fun to risk something, usually pride, and the worst situation is that you have to swim in the swamp of shame and guilt and embarrassment, naked. Yeah, that's the worst. I've done that many times. So, but yes, if you've done that, nothing scares you. Yeah. So I'm so happy to share this knowledge. I've given out my booklets in Japan to 2 million people.
Wow.
Physical ones. So it cost me $2 million. But I'm so happy to share this knowledge because if you can share some part of you, the universe will respond. So I spent $2 million by giving my gift, right, first. But I've sold 8 million, almost 8 million copies. That means in just book royalties only, I got $10 million US. So if you give, you receive.
Yes.
This is the universe, and 5 times more. Yeah. So I'm just giving once again, more. I constantly give, and then whatever I give, come back. But I don't even care because I have so much.
Yeah. And you're not counting. You're not measuring and weighing.
Yes, because all the bills are paid automatically. So I enjoy giving. I enjoy receiving, and I feel like I'm in this beautiful flow of happy feeling.
That is so beautiful, that sense of flow, because some people I know have a much easier time receiving. Others have a much easier time giving and a very difficult time receiving.
Yes.
You're talking about the importance of both.
Yes, because by giving, you complete the cycle of receiving. By receiving, you are completing the cycle of giving.
Yeah.
So if you give, and don't receive, you are not, you're not completing the cycle. Somebody has to receive, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So some people who are bad at receiving are the ones who have to receive first.
Yes. And that's
the
true essence of Thanksgiving.
Yes, exactly. And I hope people start receiving more and giving more and start asking more help. Because when we can give something, even just this tiny little thing, we feel good. So by receiving, you're making somebody feel good. So somebody have to receive.
Yeah. I want to ask you one more thing, and that's about parenting and about what you recommend that parents could teach or show their children about money. Such an important thing.
Yeah. So parents, what they can do is to teach them the world is full of great things. So people are genuinely nice. They will help you if they ask the right questions or if you have the right attitude. So this place is not a scary place. They're not trying to take advantage of you. Most people are willing to support and give you help. And if you start exploring what you're good at, what people like you to do, you'll be doing well. So if you can find some gifts in your kids, I encourage you to just support them. And there aren't many things that we can do. So my daughter turned 21 and she's very happy and she's very confident. That means that whatever she does, she knows who she is and she's content. So if you can just give your kids support for whoever he or she is, whatever he or she is going to do, if you can give them full support, that means everything to them. You know, even though you may not be able to support them financially, as long as you support them mentally or emotionally, they receive enough. So you don't have to feel shame or guilt around not being able to support them fully.
Yeah, that's so beautiful, Ken. Thank you. Thank you for expanding on that, because I know a lot of our listeners are parents and I really want to do well by their children and acknowledge who they are and bring them through into the world with their gifts intact.
Yeah, don't do it too much. Because whatever we do, if it's health or money, like overdoing something, it's not usually good.
Right.
So once they're like 12 or 13, I think you should really focus on your life. Yeah, if you do what you love and just kind of show, we have an expression in Japanese, show your kids with your back.
Oh.
Teach your kids with your back, not mouth. Yeah. So people, kids look at parents' back. That means like how they live from behind, and they learn something. So
that's
even
very meaningful to me. I love
even
that.
if you teach something with your mouth, kids don't believe it because they see your actions.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's meaningful to me because I guess because I've always gone after what I feel is important to do and to be. And in that, I hope that I have given my daughter, who is 29, that teaching through my back.
Yes, and also we're not perfect, so we make mistakes. So if we stay vulnerable, if we're open, I apologize to my wife, my kid, my child all the time because I make mistakes and I do my best, but still my best is not enough sometimes, at least for them. So,
right.
So I'll do what I can and see how it goes.
Yes.
Yeah, but everything is based on love and sharing. We can solve our misunderstandings one way or another.
So, Ken, I just want to mention again your latest book, Happy Money, The Japanese Art of Making Peace with Your Money. And would you let our listeners know how to reach you? Where can they discover more about what you're teaching?
So you can find all the information at kenhonda.com. And I have a Facebook page and I'm teaching online courses. So you can Google me and you'll find online courses for free and some paid programs too. But Happy Money is not a super complicated science. It's just a matter of appreciation. So just, start appreciating in your life, and then see how it goes. Appreciation really opens up a new door.
Yeah. In a way, it has the possibility of opening the floodgates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Domo arigato gozaimasu, Ken. Thank you so much for having been here.
Thank you. I really appreciate this time, and I hope all the listeners or viewers, life will be fulfilled with lots of love and money and abundance. That's my prayer.
Thank you so much.
Arigato.
And I'm so glad that you, our listeners, were with us here today at Wisdom Talk Radio for this really, I think, eye-opening experience of what's possible with our money. So remember, join us here regularly for more wisdom, discovery, and illumination. You can find us on your favorite place to listen to podcasts. And if you've enjoyed listening today, please leave us a review, because that helps more people access the wisdom. And then for more about optimizing your connection with your creative intelligence, find me, Laurie Seymour, at thebakajourney.com.
Thanks for joining us here at Wisdom Talk Radio. We wish you well in your conscious explorations. For more information and to join in the conversation, our website is wisdomtalkradio.com or at Wisdom Talk Radio on Facebook.